All right, so I'm going to go over analyzing advertisement assignment that was assigned today. There are many ways to make an advertisement work, but a few things that help are attention, interest, desire, and action. Look at the notes elements of an effective ad sheet, which is this document right here, and then open up the number 2 analyzing advertising assignment and look at the ads and answer the questions, which is this document over here, and I have them both opened up top. So the first document is this here, elements of an effective ad. So here we see an advertisement. It is a picture, a poster with a coupon on the bottom for a shoe store, and most ads that most ads that work well incorporate AIDA, which stands for attention, interest, desire, and action. So first, when we look at our ad, the first thing we should see right here is our headline that offers the reader the benefit to attract attention. So this is what gains us our attention. This plus the images, the pictures of the shoes. If you are into shoes or if you're looking for a new pair of shoes, the big headline with the images of the shoes should grab the attention of the person walking by. The first question a reader asks is, what is in it for me? So when you look at this ad, you see the title, which is telling you it's all about style for less. So what's in it for you in this case? You're getting style for less. And what kind of style? Well, here is a picture of the style they're referring to, which is the shoes. So these are what we would use to get attention, because you want first to have somebody look at your ad. And then once you have them looking at your ad, you want that ad to generate interest, which is the other aspect we have the shoes here for, which is graphics. Stimulate the reader's interest and ensure quick visibility. So right away, I see it's all about style for less with the headline, and then I know exactly what they're talking about because the images of the shoes are popping right out at me. So here are my shoes, and this generates an interest in me, or in somebody who would have an interest in buying a pair of shoes. So it stimulates the reader's interest and ensures quick visibility. Line art, illustrations, and photographs can all be eye-catching. So you want something that's going to jump out and grab the viewer's eye, make them want to look at your poster longer. After the title and the images grab their attention and then gain their interest. So keep the graphics clean and uncluttered. What that means is here we see 3 full images of shoes. We could have fit probably 10 different shoes on here if we tried, but there's no need. That would make it cluttered. Some of the shoes would be covering up other shoes. It would look messy. So you want to keep it clean and tidy. This element best represents the image you are trying to convey. So right here, what they're trying to convey is style. And here are the style. This is the style they're conveying. These, I guess, are very popular brand names for them. So then the third thing we want is then to create a desire. So in addition to the interest and getting the attention, we also have color. That improves readership dramatically over black and white. So if this was a black and white poster, it doesn't grab you the same way as it does when you have these like blue shoes or these pink ones. So the color actually adds to the ad. It makes it more attention-grabbing, more interesting. Now we have the copy. Copy is just an advertising word that means writing that you put in your advertising. So whether it's in bulleted points or in paragraph form, copy is the element which produces a desire. So this is where you tell somebody what they're able to get and where you actually cause a desire in the customer to come to your store and buy something. So this is what's going to make them say, oh, I want that. So completeness counts. Readers want to know what's in it for them. So that's what we have right here in this copy. So this copy is telling you a lot of information. First off, you're getting over 45,000 pairs from the best brands like BCBG, Nine West, Van Ellie, Steve Madden, Cole Haan, Spree, or Sperry, however that is, Kenneth Cole, Clark's, New Balance, and all up to 60% off retail. So this here is telling everybody what they're going to get and the fact that they're going to be able to get it for 60% off. So in addition to this very good information on what they're going to get, the other important information is where can they get it? Well, they can get it Wednesday to Sunday, fresh fashions every day, and then of course leads to our logo right here. So the logo, address, telephone number is all right here, which is the other important part. Customers need to know where your business is and how to contact you. So this lets readers know at a glance how to reach you. The logo generally belongs at the bottom of your ad. Remember, this is where your logo goes, at the bottom. That's where many readers expect to see it. And finally, the thing that you want to do now is you want to create an action. So you've grabbed their attention with the headline and the colors and the images. You've created interest by having them stare at the image and see what's there. You've created desire by having them read your ad and see the savings they can have on all the different options, all the different types of shoes. And the last thing you want now is to create an action. And that action in this case, the case of this particular ad, the action that they want is for you to go to their store, take this coupon, and use it to save $5. So it says here, this is a response mechanism and it creates action. It asks for the sale with a coupon. So this advertisement is literally asking you, by offering you this coupon, to come down to the store today and get this discount. So a coupon, savings certificate, or a gift certificate, they urge readers action, or they urge reader action. It makes the reader say, okay, I better take this and go down there and use it. Many merchants use couponing only to attract new customers. Don't ignore existing ones. So this one here is good for anybody, new or existing customers. Anybody can use it and save money. Notice how the store name is included in the offer. So yeah, that's true. There we have the store name right here, Shoe Warehouse. SRI Shoe Warehouse, men, kids, women. So you have the logo, you have the name of the company right there. You have it right here as well, SRI Dollars. You also have it down here, SIO Shoe Warehouse. So you have the company name on the coupon and on the poster. So even if you detach the coupon, you're still advertising. It also says here to keep the offer clean, easily understood, and motivating, and keep your disclaimers to a minimum. So in other words, this doesn't have a whole bunch of images, a bunch of clutter on it, and the disclaimers, which would be these right here, so we'll zoom in because they're kind of in smaller print, but a disclaimer is something like this: certificate must be presented at the time of purchase, certificate has no cash value, and of course the one that's most important right here, offer expires July 31st, 2006. So this is a long overdue coupon. But the point being is these are what we call disclaimers. It's basically telling you what things you can't do with the coupon. And they're kept to a minimum. There's only 3 of them on here. And this, like I said, it creates action. So those are the 4 main things you want to have in each of your ads. So that leads us to the assignment, and here we have, and I should have warned you ahead of time, this has some graphic images. I believe I warned you of that in the assignment itself, though. So here we have an image, which is an advertisement, and then a series of questions, then a second image, and a second set of questions, third and fourth. So there's 4 questions here, or 4 images here, and you need to answer all 4 sets of questions for each of these images. But a lot of them are going to be pretty straightforward, and unfortunately I should have, when I was creating this, I used a template and I should have looked at it a little closer myself. Some of these questions are essentially asking you the same thing twice, so your answers are going to end up getting repeated, and I'll show you what I mean. So now let's zoom in, and I apologize for the graphic nature of this ad, but I suppose it is an important ad, especially for this upcoming time of year, with graduation season coming. And here we have an advertisement for Mothers Against Drunk Driving. So if we zoom in really low on here, we can look at here and we can see it is Mothers Against Drunk Driving. and is their ad, there's their logo. It is on the bottom, just like we learned from our notes. This is where it belongs. And this does have copy. It has words that it's stating right here. It says, don't make it a grad to forget. Okay. So in this case here, we have to look at the image and see what it is. And yes, again, I apologize yet again for the graphic nature of this image, but it is an important message. And here we see what looks like it would be a graduation photo, and we have our grad right here. And unfortunately, it looks like she's also been in a car accident, and they combine both the image of the graduation photo and the glass of the frame and the windshield glass of the car, and they unfortunately have her getting very injured from the result of what looks like a car crash. And you can see graduation is supposed to be a very happy time. It's supposed to be a time you want to remember for the rest of your life. And if you're drinking and driving, then something bad like this could happen, and it could make it a grad that you, so don't make it a grad that you want to forget, or a grad to forget. So that's it there. And the first question is, what is the product? What is being said about it? What is the message? So in this case here, product is a bit of a misleading word that makes it sound like they're trying to sell you something. And sometimes ads aren't necessarily trying to sell you an item. They're more or less trying to change your behavior. They're a social message. And the social message in this case here is don't drink and drive. So what is the product? What is being said about it, and what is the main message? So essentially we'll focus on what is the main message. So the product is, so I only need a sentence or two for each answer. I'm not looking for paragraphs here, so we could just say the product / message is to not drink and drive, because that is essentially what they're saying. Clearly, the ad is showing what the negative consequences of what could happen if you are drinking and driving. So B, how is this advertisement structured? Is it through a logo, a symbol, words, or something else? Is there a slogan or a catchphrase? So for here, we can say, again, a sentence or two. The ad is set up with an image with a small catchphrase on the bottom. Oh, misspelled catchphrase, did I? No, catchphrase. So there's our catchphrase. Don't make it a grad to forget. That's something that when you read it, it'll jump out at you. You can say catchphrase. You can say it over and over again to remember what the message is. With a small catchphrase in the bottom. So how is the advertising structured? Is there a logo? Yes. There is a MAD logo in the bottom right. Okay, so this is just more of a description of what's going on in the ad. So then C, whom is it targeting? So in this particular case here, there could be a couple of different good answers, but I think for this specific one, I think it's specifically targeting teenagers about to graduate, or anyone really that was thinking of drinking and driving during graduation season. So really, I mean, this might not be the teenager who was drinking and driving and got themselves in an accident. It could have been that they were on their way home from their graduation and got into a car accident because the other driver was driving drunk. So it really could go anywhere, but teenagers about to graduate, or anyone really that is thinking about drinking and driving during graduation season. And I guess if this was, we could do a very similar ad. It could be for Christmas or any time of the year. Really, you shouldn't be drinking and driving any time of the year. But just because of the nature of this ad, it's specifically targeting graduation season, I would say, like what's in June, summertime. So think about the images. So this is a question here that is supposed to just apply to each of the different images. This is which ones do you like, which ones do you... So this one here, I'm going to skip this part here, and we're just going to focus on this one image and talk about this image here. Do you like it? Don't you like it? What's it saying? Think about this image. Think about, is it effective? So you can say, this is a graphic image that is trying to show the negative effects of drinking and driving. So that's all you needed to do. Again, for the rest of these, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get rid of the rest of this question and just do the think about the images. So look at the image, think about it. What are your thoughts on that image? So then this is, what is the ad telling you? Think about it from different. Think about the different levels here. What is it saying explicitly or implicitly? Is there a hidden message? So when we look at the ad, it is quite clearly explicitly saying don't drink and drive. Now, it's also, again, because of the type of image saying don't drink and drive during graduation season. So again, I could say pretty much the same thing I said up here in the first, kind of a combination of this one here. The message is to not drink and drive. So I could pretty much say the same thing here. Message is not to drink and drive. It explicitly seems to be during grad season, but could be a good message any time of the year. Okay. And then finally, not finally, we got F and G. These got pushed down a bit. Is there exaggeration? Well, is there exaggeration? In this case here, I'm just going to say no. It's not exaggerating. People, unfortunately, really do die in tragic ways, like car accidents. So, I mean, it is maybe a bit of an exaggeration with the turning the frame, the photo frame, into a windshield. But I wouldn't say, if you want to say that it is exaggeration, you want to write a sentence on why you think it is exaggeration, then feel free. I'm just personally I don't think it is exaggeration. So for that particular one, I'm going to say, no, they are not exaggerating, and no, there are no visual jokes. This isn't meant to be a funny ad. Are there stereotypes? This one here, no, not really. Well, I mean, people do drink and drive. I guess if that's a stereotype, you could make an argument that drinking and driving is a stereotype. Maybe you could say that some people specifically get a stereotype for drinking and driving. I'm not sure. But I don't think this particular ad is saying teenagers specifically drink and drive. Most of them aren't old enough to drink and drive. But it does say that around grad time there are a lot of parties where there would be a lot of drinking and driving, and that is a bit of a stereotype. So you could say something along those lines, but you could say there is a stereotype about drinking and driving when there are a lot of grad parties. All right, something like that. So the ad does have those things in there. So then, G, how would this advertisement be different in another country? Is it culturally specific, and how? And to be honest, we don't even have to think about it from another country. If you can think of how maybe another culture within our own country, or even within our own small area might react differently to, say, this ad or any ad on this compared to the others. But I personally think, I mean, unfortunately, drinking and driving is something that happens in a lot of places. So I think that this ad could work in most places in the world. It is a problem that happens everywhere. Now, maybe graduations are different in different countries, so maybe the image of a grad photo, that might not be a custom in some places along those lines, but so that might mean they might want to change the style of it. But for the most part, in a lot of countries, people have graduations, people have parties, and that can lead to issues. So the next one here, I'm just going to go over two, and I'll leave the last two for you to do on your own. I'll talk about them briefly, but for the most part, you'll be filling out the answers. I'm just going to give you examples of how to fill these ones out. So the next one here is for clarets. And for anyone who doesn't know what clarets is, they are gum. Well, I think they also make breath mints, but I think they originally started out as gum. Gum for fresh breath. And we start off with a picture here of some guy opening up his mouth. And he's sticking out his tongue, and his tongue looks like an old dirty gym sock. And maybe it's just me, it looks dirty, maybe it's clean, but either way, you wouldn't want your mouth smelling like a sock, is essentially what they're trying to tell you here. If you have bad breath, that's not appealing. And if you zoom in a little bit here, it's hard to see, but they do have a catchphrase. It says, eliminate bad breath. It's blurry, but you can see eliminate bad breath right there. And it is Clarets. So they do have their logo right here. So the logo is present. And this one here very much is a product that they're trying to sell you. They want you to buy their gum. So what is the product? The product is Claret. Oh, did I misspell Clarets? Oh, it's got to be a capital. Clarets gum. What is being said? And what is the main message? The message is, if you have bad breath, Clarets will get rid of it. So chew Clarets gum. That's essentially what they're saying. Chew our gum if you have bad breath. And they're basically saying everybody has bad breath. Look at this guy. His breath is so bad it's like an old dirty sock. How is the advertisement structured? Is it through a logo, a symbol, words, or something else? Is there slogan or catchphrase? So again, there is an image of a guy with a sock for a tongue, implying he has bad breath. Clarets is a gum that will that will eliminate bad breath. That is the catchphrase. They have their logo in the bottom right. Okay, so this is, I got my space there. Yep, there we go. And catchphrase, I spelled it wrong again. So that is just describing what we see in the ad. Who is the target audience? Identify the largest target audience. How or why do you think it would appeal to that target audience? So I guess this would be an audience of anyone who might have bad breath. I guess if you're going to be in close proximity to people and having long conversations, you'd want your breath to be fresh. So anyone who might be worried about having bad breath might be enticed to buy Clarets gum because they don't want to have that bad breath. So think about the image. All right. So what is it about this image? Do we like it? Is it a good image? I'm going to say this is a good image because everyone knows what it is like to have bad breath or to be talking to someone with bad breath. Okay. So what is the ad telling you? Think about it on different levels. But again, this ad is essentially telling us the exact same thing that we said right up here in number 1. So we're basically just copying and pasting this answer again because, like I said earlier, these questions sort of have a bit of a repeat. Is there a hidden message? Again, there's no real hidden message here. It's a very explicit message. Chew our gum. It'll give you better breath. Is there exaggeration? Yes. Oh, yes, there is exaggeration. People don't really have socks for tongues. It is a visual joke. Some people might find the image funny. Is it a stereotype? Well, no, I don't think it's a stereotype. I mean, it's not saying, I know that the image is a picture of a man, but I think it's supposed to get the point across. The reason we're not seeing their whole face and just focusing mostly on the mouth is just because every single person out there has a mouth and every single person has bad breath, so it's not so much a stereotype, but it is definitely an exaggeration and there is definitely a visual joke here. And would this advertisement be different in another country? Again, I don't think so. I'm going to say no, but this is more of an opinion question. So if you want to type out a sentence telling me why you think it would be different in a different country, then you go right ahead. So Axe body spray. And here I remember this is another old ad. I don't think we see these on TV or around very much anymore. Mostly because of, well, as you'll see, it's kind of sexist. So you scroll down and you see this ad here, and down in the bottom corner we have our Axe body spray. We have our, well, that's not really a catchphrase exactly down here. And we see an image of a groom on top of a cake, and the bride is holding on to him as if she's claiming him. The Axe body spray must smell so good that she absolutely has to have him. But it's not just her, it's making him so desirable that all these other women are climbing this giant mountain of a cake just to get a chance at this groom. And so what is the product? The product is Axe body spray. And what is being said about it? It is saying that Axe body spray makes you irresistible to women, or makes you irresistible to women. So there you go. Women can't take it. They have to. Anyways, you see the ad. It's a sexist ad, and well, that's what it is. So how is the advertisement structured? There is an image of a wedding cake with a bride and groom and other women climbing up to get the groom because he smells good. That is what it's eventually saying. There is a logo in the bottom right. So who is the target audience? I believe the target audience is single men. How I suppose, or you could also say anyone that thinks smelling like Axe body spray will. Anyone that thinks smelling like Axe body spray will help them meet a girl, I guess. That's essentially what it's saying in a nutshell. And again, that's what they're selling it as. They actually have a very specific target audience they're trying to meet. They're trying to, but again, that target audience might not. Like that's the thing. When you target your advertisement towards one very, very narrow and specific audience, you may offend or scare off or just cause other people to not want to buy your product. So if you go really hardcore towards one specific group of people, you might alienate a whole other group of people. So that's something to keep in mind if you're thinking about advertisements. This particular ad might be very effective on some people, but may be offensive to others. So that's something that you'd have to think about. So again, think about this image. So that's exactly what I'm going to say. This image may be appealing to some, but may alienate others. You can even say offend others, who knows. Next, what is the ad telling you? But again, it's telling you exactly what we said right up here in question A. It is saying that Axe body spray makes you irresistible to women. That's exactly what the ad is saying. Is there a hidden message? Well, I mean, here it's quite explicitly saying, look, this will have women come in for you. Which leads us to part F. Is there exaggeration? Yes, in capital letters, there is exaggeration. Axe body spray will not have women fighting over you. It is meant, maybe you could make the argument that it is meant for a joke, maybe not. I'll just say it is meant as a joke, but again, like I said, some people might not enjoy that kind of joke. And would this advertisement be different in other countries? Again, for this one, I will say yes, it might be different if they view, I guess if they view single life differently than we do here in Canada or even in the United States. I forgot, is there a stereotype? Yes. Yes, there are stereotypes. Women are not driven crazy by a smell. And so on and so forth. I mean, you can come up with any number of stereotypes from that ad. Okay, so now the last one here, public service announcement. And this one here shows a person, and it looks like, unfortunately, there is a noose made of sausages around their neck. And that's a very graphic image. And if we zoom in, we'll zoom in really tight on this one to see if that's very small print. It's hard to even see. It's so blurry. Maybe if we had a bigger version of it. But it says here, obesity is suicide. And we don't really have a logo. And this here is very small print. I can't barely even make it out. So we can't really say who made this advertisement. But we can say essentially is that it's a public service announcement. and it's trying to warn of the health dangers of being overweight or just in general being unhealthy. So it's not really selling us a product. It's not saying come and buy this item. It's more or less giving us a message. And the main message here is that if you are living an unhealthy lifestyle, that can lead to health problems. Yes, indeed. That's essentially what it's coming down to. So this specifically is saying obesity, but it could really come down to any type of health problem you're having. If you're smoking a lot or have any other kind of major health issues, that could cause a problem. So how is the advertisement structured? So here we have, there is a graphic image of a person with a noose made of sausages around their neck. No logo, so no way to know who made the ad. So that's not good. It's not good to not have your logo, because now we don't know who made the ad. We don't know how to get in contact with them to get more information about what was going on here. So whom is the target audience? We're going to say in this case probably in this particular case overweight people perhaps, or people with unhealthy lifestyles. That's who they're trying to more or less get in touch with here. This image here, I'm not a fan of this image, so I don't like the blunt nature of the picture. If you disagree, feel free, tell me why. That's perfectly fine. What is the ad telling you? Again, it's the exact same thing we set up here in A. If you're living an unhealthy lifestyle, that can lead to health problems. Is there exaggeration? Yes. Yes, there is exaggeration. Being or living an unhealthy lifestyle is not the same as hanging yourself. Again, you can answer that however you like, and then there is no jokes, stereotypes. Again, if you see them, you feel free to point them out here. And would this advertisement be different in another country? And if so, how? It certainly might be. Again, this is more of an opinion question. In a different culture, would they view this in a different way? So now the rubric for this is, so the required elements is the analysis includes all required elements as additional information. All required elements are included as analysis. So in other words, if you answer the questions and you talk about those 4 elements that we talked about here, attention, interest, desire, action, that's worth some of the points, and then the other ones are your knowledge demonstrating and understanding of what's being advertised. So you can read these here to see how you get your max value. If you have any other questions about what you need to do to answer these questions or how to answer them, then please feel free to send me an email. If there's any other assignments besides this one that you're having any trouble with, please let me know. All right, I hope this was helpful. Thanks, and have a good day.